In the next few videos, we're going to be looking at the Java string class. And we're going to talk about strings in Java. So let's start out by creating a new project. I'm going to come up here to my new project button, Java with Ant, Java application. Let's just call this string demo. And we'll use this project to demonstrate some properties of strings in Java. So in my main method of the string demo class here, I am going to create a string. Let's say string, my string equals, and let's just do welcome to programming. All right, so here we have a string literal. String literals are enclosed in quotation marks. So this literal string has been assigned to a variable called myString, which is of type string. That's very similar to what we've done when we've declared any variable. However, if you notice something about myString when we declare it, string is actually capitalized. And the reason it's not it's capitalized as compared to something like int myInt. Okay, so notice int is not capitalized because int is a primitive type, just like double is a primitive type. But strings are actually made from a class called the string class. If we open up the Java API documentation, get that. All right, so this is Java 7 documentation. Nothing really changes too much about this in any versions past 7 or 8. So I know we're on newer versions of it, but this will work just fine. So here is the class string in the Java API documentation. If you ever want to find that, just in Google Chrome, do a search for Java API with the word string after it, and you'll get a link right to this document. So if you look, this is an actual class. It is not a primitive object. A primitive, better word, is not a primitive data type. It is actually an object class. So we're going to create objects from this class just like we've been creating objects from classes, except strings are slightly different because we use them all the time. Java provides us with some ways to do this a little more efficiently. So strings have all different types of constructors we can use to create strings, but if you notice, we didn't use any kind of constructor. We didn't use the new keyword on the right side. I'll demonstrate that in a minute. But because it's a class, it has built-in methods as well. So there are all these methods. We're going to talk about a few of them. There's character at, that's a method. It returns a character at a certain index. We'll talk about that in an upcoming video. There's a concat method. There's a contains method. There's a copy value of. There's all kinds of methods. There's format. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on too. Get bytes, index of. We're not going to use all these methods, obviously, and I am not going to cover all of these methods at this point, but we will talk about a lot more of them later on. But just know that since it's a class, when we create an object of type string, it will have methods that we can call to manipulate the string, and that's really what we're going to be looking at this week. So I created this string by saying string myString equals welcome to new programming. Okay, so I use this string literal over here. What we're used to when we create objects is to do something like this. String new string equals, that was a bad name. I need to use camel case there. New string, and inside the parentheses in this case we'll say welcome. I'm making this one a little bit shorter. So this is how we've normally created objects from classes, right? We use the new keyword along with calling the constructor of the object, and in this case we're passing a parameter that says welcome, and then that gets assigned to the variable of type string. Okay? But we do so much with strings in Java that Java has it built in that we can leave off the new, and we can just on the right side of the on the right side of the assignment operator, the equal sign, we can actually just put the string literal. So this first method I showed you is the recommended way. This is what we've been doing when we create new objects from a certain class. And notice we're using the string constructor invocation. So we can do it the traditional way. However, Java recommends just doing it the shortcut way, like this. So let's actually use this string. We'll do systemout.println and put in my string. And it prints out welcome to programming. It uses our string in our print statement to print out that string. So since the string class is included in Java, it's actually in the java.language package, so we have no reason to import it. It's automatically imported. We can always use strings. We don't have to import any classes to use them. It provides us with the ability to hold a sequence of characters. So W is a character, E is a character of type char. An individual character is of type char. Even a space is of type char, and an exclamation point is a character as well. It's a special character. So strings provide us a way to hold a sequence of characters in a single object. That's basically what they are. So we need to understand some of the special characteristics of strings, and that's what we're going to be talking about in the upcoming videos. And we're going to learn how to use some of the methods that are provided with strings to help us manipulate and use them in our programs.